Hello and welcome to the core series. Today I'm going to take you through a really quick routine that's going to help fire up the glutes, fire up hip stabilization. This is a fantastic one to do if you've been sitting down for the day and working hard. It's also a really good routine to do before you jump on the bike or go out for a run. It helps with activating the muscles around the hips and will improve your economy when you hit the road. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to start off with our TheraBand. So just pop this round your feet like so. So you can have it round the tops of the feet, or you can have it actually around the ankles or a little bit higher up, just depending on how you're feeling and how much of this you've been doing before. So we can have it round the ankles like so. Okay. And let's just start off with doing our side walking from one end to the mat and then turning around and going back the other way. So we're really focusing on the strength and stability around our glutes. Okay, this is a really good isolated exercise, getting some good activation in the hips. So let's go nice and slowly. Keep the tension in the band. Okay. So we're not bringing the feet all the way together and then coming back. Keeping nice posture, making sure we're feeling it around the side of the hips here. Okay, take a breather. Now we can put this band now around the feet. Okay. So you can just mix it up, just choose the intensity that best suits you. So having it further down is just a little bit more intense. So let's go again. So keeping the feet nice and straight. And you'll feel the intensity when we lower that band a little bit further down. And this is a great exercise for highlighting left and right imbalances. Okay, so one way you might find that hip will fatigue quicker than the other side. And these sessions are all about highlighting imbalances, seeing where your weaknesses are in your body. Okay, standing nice and tall, moving in control. Coming to the end of the mat. Good work. Okay, so we're going to just add a little variation into the mix now. So use our trusted stick just to check on our hip hinge. Okay, so just place that between the buttocks and up through the middle of the back and onto the back of the head. And then we're just going to fold forward just to make sure our back is nice and flat when we do this next set. So if you're pretty happy with the back being flat, then you don't need the stick, but I'm just going to use it just to give me guidelines, make sure that I'm doing it correctly. Okay, so just hip hinging forward, changing the orientation through the hips. We don't have to fold forward too much. Just find out what feels good for you and stick with that. Knees slightly bent. Okay, and then standing up, take a quick breather. We're going to do one more walk to the end of the mat and back. So get into your hip hinge. Gently holding the stick on your back. And the stick is just a great way for making sure that you're folding at the hips and not folding through the back. It's a really powerful position, this. The hip hinge really works the hips, the back of the legs, puts our spine into a neutral position. And by now, you'll probably be feeling one side may be fatiguing more than the other. And like I say, that just gives you good information moving forward. Okay, let's pop that stick to the side now and just pop the band to the side. So we're just going to get into our one leg balancing now. So standing nice and tall, we're going to start off with our left foot on the mat and we're going to bring the right knee up. So after that exercise, we should be feeling a little bit more stable through the hips. If this is challenging enough for you, stay here. If you want to take it a step further, we're sweeping that right leg back and we're coming down into our forward hip hinge on one leg. So we're just adding a little bit of movement into it now. Working on balance, coordination, getting the hips fired up. If you are heading out for a training session after this, feel free just to come in and out of these postures if you don't want to fatigue yourself too much. It's just a great routine to get into to warm the body up. Okay, and then coming up, sweeping that right knee up and holding there. You can feel free to take a breather in between each set. It's really important we do all the sets in good form. Okay, let's go again. Sweep that right leg behind, arms down in front and folding forward. So again, we can have the stick on our back just to check form, make sure the back's nice and flat. Couple more breaths here. Make sure we're not twisting through the back. We're nice and square, so our hips and our shoulders are square to the mat. And then coming up, bring that knee through. So good opportunity now just to take a quick breather to prep for our third rep. And when we're ready, we're sweeping that right leg back, dropping down into our forward hip hinge on our left leg. So make sure we're not gripping with the toes. Make sure the knee's slightly bent. And make sure we're not balancing on our heel. So nice even weight through the foot. And then coming up nice and slowly. Good work. So shake that left leg out. And we're going to move on to our right foot now. So spread the toes out, get the foot nice and balanced on the ground before we lift the left knee up. So straight away, you may feel again an asymmetry, a difference between one side to the other. And when we're ready, if this is challenging enough for you, stay here. If you want to take it a step further, we're sweeping that left leg behind and we're coming down into our forward hip hinge on our right hand side. So I think it's we are looking for that nice balance, and we're really highlighting the big red flags when we're looking at imbalances through the body. I think it's natural that we may have a more dominant side, and to be completely balanced is sometimes pretty challenging. But we want to get as close as possible. And then coming up. In control, bring that knee through. Okay, second rep. In control, sweep that left leg behind, dropping down, folding forward into our hip hinge on our right hand side. So again, it depends a little bit on the sports we do. Some sports lend themselves to imbalances. Other sports are much more symmetrical, like running, cycling, swimming. Okay, and then coming up nice and slowly. Good opportunity now just to drop that foot down, give the right leg a shake out, ready for our third rep on our right hand side. Take a nice deep breath, rejoin us when you're ready. And let's go again, our final rep. Sweep through, coming down. Nice square body to the mat. Square shoulders and hips to the floor. Slight bend in the knee. Make sure we're not gripping with our toes. Make sure we're not balancing on our heels. So nice even weight through the foot. All the while breathing and staying in control. And then coming up nice and slowly. Good work. Give that leg a shake out. We're just going to do one more set of the banded work. So again, we can have it round our ankles here if we want to take a little bit of the intensity out, or we can have it round the toes if you want to increase it. So let's go. Side walking to the right. Okay, again, just making sure we keep tension in that band. We're not bringing that foot all the way to the other foot. We are getting 100% out of each rep we do. Don't rush it. None of these classes are around speed or seeing how many reps we do. It's all around control, understanding your body. Okay, grab your stick if you're happy to just check your hip hinge, or just come forward into our forward hip hinge, and let's go again. So we're just changing the orientation of how our hips and glutes are working through here. We're reinforcing that key movement pattern of bending through the hips and not through the back. And let's go again. Okay, by now the hips will be having a little chat with you. We'll be feeling a bit of fatigue maybe. And last one, standing up nice and tall. And let's step to the right. So these bands come in different colours. Okay, if you find this incredibly easy, then change the colour out. Change the intensity. Any good rehab and prehab program should see some kind of progression. The minute something gets easy, then take it to that next level until you reach your desired strength and stability that you need for your day, for your sport. Okay, good work. Let's drop that band down to the mat now. And we're going to finish up as we normally do. Laying on our back. Open up the feet, open up the hands. It's an integral part of any workout where we just make sure we get our breath back. We set up our body for recovery. And we take a moment just to listen to the body. Where do you feel it most? We so often race off after a workout, jump in the car, head off to work. Very little acknowledgement, very little time just to check in with the body. And this is really valuable. You want to take your performance to the next level. So let's get the breathing back. Take nice long inhale for 4 to 6, maybe 8 seconds in. Holding it right at the top. And then breathing out, making the exhale the same duration as your inhale. Let's get that heart rate lowered. That was a quick session today, but still challenging. A great reminder of the power of these little exercises that we're doing in the core series. So thanks for joining me today on the mat. Hope you enjoyed today's session, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you very much.